All right, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Ice Orc and Sheik, taking place here on Tide Hunters. Let's go ahead and get this game started, get this game underway as we see, well, Ice Orc spawning as the yellow orc over here on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the top left, we have Sheik spawning as the blue undead. Undead versus Orc. We are opening things up. Crypt, Altar of Darkness. There's that Ziggurat. Meanwhile, Altar of Storms, Orc Burrow, all that jazz getting underway. All right, so some pretty standard things already happening here. There is a barracks, Altar of Storms, no sign of a lumber mill as of yet, and we need to see whether or not we will be looking at a second Orc Burrow by Ice Orc. Meanwhile, top left-hand side, first 2 minutes of the game, really not too much to report about, just trying to see if there's anything that's non-standard, and so far everything looks about right. We are going to be getting up that crypt, we should be getting in a couple of ghouls, and then we'll see if we're going to be looking at a Death Knight or a Lich first. I got to assume a Death Knight though. Lich, rather a fragile hero, and oh nope, Crypt Lord, so it is going to be the go wide strategy coming across from Sheik. So go wide strategy, get up a large number of beetles, get a good number of skeletal minions, and clear out this expo off to the north. It does provide 4 corpses to translate into more units to try and summon and clear up. Meanwhile, on the south side, we are going for a Farseer from Ice Orc. So Farseer, Ice Orc, there's that lumber mill that I mentioned earlier, and well, we should be getting up some headhunters. Now, second Orc Burrow has not been placed down yet. I believe it's going to be a headhunter after this, and then a tech to tier 2. That's what seems to be, well, nope, another Orc Burrow. All right, so another Orc Burrow going to be placed down. So it is going to be a later tech to tier 2, as we are going to be going into some headhunters for that DPS. Now, Crypt Lord already out, gonna go ahead, sell that Scroll of Town Portal, picks up a Rod of Necromancy, has a Sacrificial Skull as well, and now gonna go ahead and summon up some beetles to try and go after this Sea Giant creep down. Here we are, here we go. That beetle already taking quite a bit of damage. There's that little spinning anchor attack that I mentioned that causes large amounts of AoE. Sometimes he doesn't attack that way at all. Sometimes he gets 2 or even 3 attacks, thereby causing quite a bit of problems. So a little bit of RNG not in favor of Sheik here, as Ice Orc now tries to punish the Crypt Lord for creeping early on. Now, there are a good number of corpses out here. Are available. Skeletal minions are up. Beetles are out and about. Grunt going to end up getting surrounded here. Wolves trying to take down the Crypt Lord. And who's going to get that last hit? It looks as though the Grunt is going to get... Grunt's going to end up getting taken down. Crypt Lord now trying to make its way back over. Resummoning of the Wolves. And while that Crypt Lord is on Blight... Oh, wow. A lucky entangle there. And suddenly the Spirit Wolf is going to have some problems. All right, so purposely falling back onto Blight, better regeneration, also used a Dark Rich or a Ritual Dagger to get in some healing, and now that unit is going to perhaps try and back away. Ghoul's just going to easily surround, take down that Trapper, and that Crypt Lord will get to level 2, and most likely will be going for, Impale. As well, Impale is just the stronger of the 2 abilities, but that additional armor, it does act as a bit of a deterrent. Here we are, Sheik now trying to clear out of this northern side here. As we said, no tech to tier 2. We haven't seen any acolytes trained up yet, while Ice Orc is already halfway to tier 2. All right, Farseer trying to punish a little bit more. That Blight should help get in a little bit of regeneration. One Ghoul now taken down. Farseer trying to use that little stutter step there, but the Wolves not acting in that front spot. We are looking at 3 headhunters going after these units, and this headhunter, however, doesn't want to get within melee range. Those beetles, those skeletal warriors, dealing that bonus damage onto that normal attack, as the Farseer, playing run around the headhunter, as that Ghoul does get that long distance claw attack in. All right, the Sheik School now trying to back away. Level 3 now on that Crypt Lord. That does mean even more beetles, stronger beetles, 15 to 18, as we are summoning up some more at this Haunted Gold Mine and training up now more acolytes. One Ghoul apparently just unfollow on another Ghoul instead of watching this guy work. This guy must be middle management. Yeah, you're doing a good job there, Ghoul. Keep at it. Keep at it. All right, coming back around. Criplord coming across here. There goes an Impale. Impale up and down. Farseer could be in trouble. Gonna get surrounded. One ghoul gonna get taken out and still able to break free as a Headhunter was part of that surround, opening things up. There goes another Impale again. This time, however, going straight after the Headhunter, ensuring the kill as the Farseer now backs away once more. Criplord is dangerously low on hit point or low on mana, not going to be able to summon up anything new, and now being forced to back away as we see this army of summoned units trying to scamper and get some damage in. Now, Haunted Goldmine nearly completed. We're going to get to full saturation. This is going to be 5 over 5. Meanwhile, back in the base of Ice Orc, we should be looking at training of a second hero. There we are. There's that Tauren Chieftain. Excuse me for hitting the microphone. There's that training as we are getting up a bestiary as well. Farseer has a lot of work to cover, currently behind in terms of hero level, currently behind in terms of economy, and currently, well, gonna fall behind in terms of army size here in just a moment. Just ahead in tech as that bestiary and a Tauren Totem about to come online. Spirit Walkers with that Purge and Spirit Link being able to share the damage while also dishing out damage and trying to neutralize those beetles. Tauren Chieftain, Endurance Aura, most likely Farseer sitting at level 2, gonna go after this Sea Giant. No, not gonna go after the Sea Giant Creep Camp. As the Crypt Lord sitting at level 3 now going after this Giant Sea Turtle Creep Camp. There's that tech to tier 2 by Sheik, as we mentioned a little bit late. Well, middle management, I guess, got to work as the Crypt Lord now still wandering about here. 96, 116 lumber, 200 gold. Yeah, you guys can see the stats there. Now, Tauren Chieftain comes bearing gifts for that Farseer. Doesn't have an ability or skill yet. Doesn't know if he wants to go for Shockwave or Stomp. Generally, though, you want to go for Stomp when it is a bunch of these melee units, these beetles, that kind of swarm, the ghouls that kind of swarm as well. And you can see Sheik is actually just creeping with a bunch of timed life units. That is a lot of ghouls on lumber. Then you can take a look at that. That is a large amount of ghouls on lumber, and that is going to help pay for that tier 2 cost when suddenly you want to tech up to tier 3, build your slaughterhouse, and get that Lich trained up all ready to go at the same time. Crypt Lord currently invisible, and we're going to be looking at a potential Creepjack here. Are we going to see what's going to happen here? Are we going to see an Impale? Who's going to get the last hit? There's the hit. Who got it? And then now going after these units again. All right, there goes an Impale. A little bit more damage going across all of these units here. Beetles are getting cleaned up, though. Crypt Lord does have a potion of greater healing, and we're looking at some damage just still being dished out onto all of these units. There goes another. Oh, that's a denied unit there as the Spirit Walkers now make their rounds as well. Wind Rider trying to, well, cause some problems there. That Crypt Lord is just looking at any unit, saying that looks like delicious experience and trying to, well, make something of it. Tauren Chieftain still sitting at level 1 with no ability. Now finally goes for Endurance Aura. That could have helped out a bit earlier for that faster movement speed. Meanwhile, the Crypt Lord, well, is he going to engage against the Farseer? Yes, he will. A couple of Beetles are also here as well. So are we going to see almost a 4 units around? But remember, that Beetle only had 71 hit points. He would have broken out of that paper bag pretty easily as well. Back off to the north, we see now a heavy transition into Crypt Fiends. We are at Halls of the Dead. There's that Slaughterhouse. We are getting that Death Knight, not a Lich as that second hero. And we are also getting Web for these Crypt Fiends to bring down any Wind Riders. Currently one Wind Rider only. Wow, difficult to say. One Wind Rider only. Well, got a new tongue twister for my daughter. Help her with her sounds since she loves WarCraft 3 so much. All right, Orc Burrows, no reinforced defenses either. We are, well, getting a fair amount of gold here, sitting at 47 over 70 supply. Crypt Fiends are creeping away from the action. Death Knight is now out here on the battlefield, and he'll be able to get some, well, get some experience as well. Getting to level 2 on that Death Knight, incredibly important. We're going to be looking at, well, fast creeping now that the armies are fairly well established, poking down these units quickly. Crippler taking quite a bit of damage here, taking a lot more than expected. Death Knight should be just death coiling, not going to be overhealing all that much as we're looking at all of these units starting to fall. All right, level 3 on the Tauren Chieftain already, level 3 on the Farseer, going up against a level 4 Crypt Lord and a level 1, nearly level 2 Death Knight. Clearing off the remainder of this, well, elemental creep camp that Ogre Lord or Ogre Magi was already taken down. We're looking at, well, a little bit of Nightcrawler action going off here as well. The Marauders, Nightcrawlers, they're going to get focused down, piercing damage from those Crypt Fiends. Well, damage not reduced when going up against these units here. All right, Overlay having a little bit of a glitch as we see the Farseer now making its rounds. All right, Farseer purposely backing away. What is that Nightcrawler doing? No, Nightcrawler, Farseer are going to try and chase here. Death Knight sitting at level 2. We also see a Health Stone now on that Death Knight as the Crypt Fiend trying to back away. He's going to be able to stay alive, at least for now, as the Wolves are trying to engage. All right, in comes these other units. We're going to be seeing a Death Coil once more. There's a web down, and, well, the Wind Rider ends up staying alive. Nightcrawler going to get cleaned up here. Farseer, Tauren Chieftain, looking fairly strong. Kodo Beast also out here on the battlefield. He wants to digest some Crypt Fiends, but, well, wow. That armor going to make it difficult for that Kodo Beast to get within melee range without taking, or chomping range without taking too much damage and then being able to escape back out. Death Knight sitting at level 2 here. At 2.5 now. Crypt Lord taking some of that precious experience away. Death Knight really should be trying to get to level 3 as we're looking at Ice Orc coming across here. All right, that's a good number of ghouls trying to engage. There's going to be a couple of entangles, and there's a massive impale across the majority of that Orc army. They're currently out for the count. All right, Tauren Chieftain says, no, I too can put my foot down and stun units for a long amount of time. So this is just, I've seen who can do it better. The Tauren Chieftain, however, only at level 4, not yet quite at level 5. That impale, that, that stomp sizing is not nearly as large. All right, Kodo Beast trying to back away. Are we going to see a stomp here? There we are. There's that stomp. That's going to delay. Oh, Crypt Fiend. Well, they laid dollar short on that Death Coil here, heal as those units are still trying to engage once more. There goes another Impale. Crypt Lord benefiting from the Obsidian statues also had a potion of mana to get in one last additional Crypt Fiend as well. There's a defensive Frost Nova preventing the chase from the Tauren Chieftain and the Farseer as they back up. 47 supply compared to 54. Great Hall now established off over here. Is it a tiny? No, it wasn't a tiny Great Hall. Tauren Totem is done, so it is Stomp and Chain Lightning, perhaps to try and bounce around as opposed to Shockwave. We're going to be looking at a couple of these Carrion Beetles get cleaned up, but what's important to note is that the Headhunters, well, are just Headhunters. They are not Berserkers. They're not going to have that additional bit of additional bit of hit points, making them very vulnerable after 2 impales. All right, 1 Orc Burrow quickly destroyed. We're looking at the Peons trying to back away. Raiders going to try and come over to engage. 53 supply compared to 60. The Beetles are trying to take down this Great Hall, and here we are. Impale once more comes across right there. Lich now going to be coming back across. There's a Frost Nova as well under that backline. Stomp onto the Tauren Chieftain, or from the Tauren Chieftain, trying to neutralize all of this damage. Destroyers now devouring magic on those dire wolves. There's a Scroll of Healing as the Tauren Chieftain still needs a little bit more mana. There goes another Impale, and unit after unit is just falling on both sides. At level 4 now on the Farseer. Tauren Chieftain still doesn't have enough mana for another Impale, but we can see quite a bit of damage coming back through. All right, are we going to see some auto attack damage onto those Crypt Fiends as well? There's a Chain Lightning, and that bounces around. More damage again. There goes another Crypt Fiend. An absolute bloodbath. 49 to 42. Farseer now forcing to use the Scroll of Town Portal. Death Coil onto a Kodo Beast, giving back that Crypt Fiend, all while fighting at the Expo, and now this Expo is going to be exposed. 58 supply compared to 38. I believe the writing is on the wall here. Tauren Chieftain trying to get back into the swing of things, but that early economy by Sheik more than enough to deal with the tech advantage that Ice Orc temporarily had. All right, that Impale, just throwing everything up into the air for Ice Orc strategy from Sheik. And, well, that was going to be the damage. Tauren Chieftain finally getting in some good stomps now, but I believe the game pretty much came down to one bad stomp or two bad stomps, not dealing damage to the Crypt Fiends and then allowing the Crypt Fiends to follow up damage. I believe that was the tipping point in this game. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below, as, well, Sheik takes out Ice Orc here on Tide Hunters.